Well, Jan Voss, it's been a great little ride into town today. Thanks so much for joining our program.
Thanks for having me, and it's a true pleasure to be with you.
Obviously, right now we're coming up on a digital exhibition with the EURETINA. And so, what do you think about these as opportunities? Do you think that digital exhibitions indeed will provide opportunities into the future?
I'm absolutely convinced. We are also very well represented with a comprehensive medical education program at the EURETINA, and it's going to be a quite exciting experience to have that virtually. But I truly believe that with virtual engagements, you can reach a much broader audience than ever before. And if you ask me about the future of congresses, digital is not going to go away. It's here to stay. And this is where, personally, I'm very much looking forward to also support societies to really strive for excellence in delivering this, because it's going to be a part of the new normal.
Do you think our industry will succeed at digital engagement, whether it be an industry professional to a doctor or a doctor to a patient? It certainly has changed everything, this pandemic, and the way that we engage, for example, at shows. But I'm just curious, do you think that we'll be able to make that transition to the digital realm and use things like LinkedIn more than we ever have before?
Absolutely certain about this. If you think about the digital offerings that Bayer also supports, we have already a LinkedIn page with more than 4,000 followers, but there are also other channels available from the Vision Academy, from other stakeholders, for example, the International Agency.
I'll just plug Pi Magazine here as a digital channel as well.
Of course, the Pi Magazine. So I'm certainly thinking that the industry will succeed in improving physician-patient communication, medical education, but then also in this critical fields of raising awareness. And let me raise awareness of one thing, and that is really the World Sight Day. We have been over 6 years in a row a partner of the IAPB, the International Agency for the Prevention of Blindness, and there is now the World Sight Day photo competition. And have a look at their website. It's truly amazing to see some of the inspiring photos illustrating the complexities of how to maintain eye health during the COVID-19 pandemic, as an example. And those photos really represent hope in sight. That's their motto. And this is really also directing the future of healthcare, and should really serve also as a reminder to why eye health needs to be on everybody's attention. So this is just an example, but I think it's a very important and engaging example of digital communication.
So what is the one thing that you think companies like Bayer will change as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic?
For Bayer, it's very clear having an even greater focus on patients' needs. There are many patients with chronic diseases, and they have had or still have the challenge that their conditions have been really treated or could have not been treated optimally. And the field of ophthalmology and retinal disease has been specifically hard affected by this. And let me say there's many reasons for that, but there are two reasons that really stand out. First of all, and foremost, those older persons, mostly with diabetes, they were really at high risk of getting a COVID-19 infection. And therefore, their fear of getting infected was much higher even than having visual impairment. And this is what we really have to acknowledge. And the second thing is clearly it's the clinics, the physicians, they were under massive pressure due to all the new rules and regulations that were put in place in order to protect the staff and the patients from potential infections. But all these new hygiene protocols, social distancing, I mean, they really led to capacity constraints and prevented also some of the patients from getting their sight-saving treatments in time. And this is, I think, when it's about having an even greater focus on patients' needs, this is where we will have a great focus on that in the future. And I mean, just as an example, 2 days ago, we had an award ceremony within Bayer where countries could submit their best practices for how to best deal with a pandemic. And we received over 60 submissions from more than 30 countries. So you see, there is clearly not a one-size-fits-all solution, but it really shows the creativity and the dedication of people to find solutions together with the community to tackle that pandemic and ensure that patients get their treatment in time.
So we've talked about contemporary circumstances. What do you also think the future looks like for eye care?
Eye care is going to be very interesting. I mean, I said before that it's representing a major global health burden. And when we are looking at the future of eye care, I truly believe that we can tackle this only collaboratively. And at Bayer, our purpose to really maximize the science and allow for better life, that is very much ingrained in our endeavors to support that. But I think it's also quite important to look at the overall purpose. I mean, our vision of a world where there is health for all and hunger for none, this is a pretty bold vision, but it's very much in line also with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And specific to ophthalmology, I believe that the preservation of vision is critical to allow for the success of those SDGs. And we understand that those unmet needs, we cannot address them alone as an own company. We really have to collaborate with our partners from academia, clinical experts, the patient groups, and also organizations like the UN or the WHO. And this is critical for the success. So, and I mean, more specifically, I mean, clearly reducing the treatment burden for elderly patients, that was an unmet need even before the pandemic. And having treatment programs that require less burden or less injections, supported by smart and convenient monitoring solutions, that is certainly becoming more and more important. And the two further things, I mean, digital solutions will be key, very clearly. I mean, even before the pandemic, the ophthalmology field was really embracing technology to address those unmet needs. But the pandemic has clearly accelerated this. And I think that we as a pharmaceutical industry are very well placed to support the implementation of digital solutions beyond the treatments that we offer. And as I also said, I mean, the future could bring potentially curative therapies for cell and gene-based diseases, and I'm very motivated myself to direct our efforts into this direction.
That's great, Jan. Well, just consider us your pie paper boys, so to speak. But from analog to digital, we'll help you distribute around the world. And so forth. We're really looking forward to seeing you next time here at PI as well.
Well, thank you very much, Nat. And it's been a pleasure to talk to you.
Absolutely. Drop a line on LinkedIn anytime, and have a great EURETINA, Jan.